Hello, everybody. Current Alex today. You don't really get that very often because I record my videos so far ahead. Um, I really didn't mean to this year. I blazed through Malazan last year. I started reading in September and I finished it, all of it around February this year. And so it's kind of lined up. Um, but so like, for instance, what I'm talking about today, I have reviews for the first two already. You won't see the first one till the end of August, and then books two and three in September. That's how far ahead I am. But I really wanted to let current people know today, just in case. I'm a way smaller channel, so in the off chance that you don't know who Phillip Chase is, you really need to go subscribe to this man, follow him, and maybe read his books too. Hopefully my reviews will also determine that for you. My reviews shouldn't tell you whether or not you should or shouldn't read something. You should make up your own mind. But if it could help push you toward it, I hope it does. And maybe this will too, not in the sense that he may do the same for you. That's not what I'm trying to imply at all. Um, just in the sense that these are stories worth your time. Anyway, but I wanted to shout him out and tell him how much I appreciate him and how much you guys should really check out these books. You can get them for very cheap on Kindle if you decide to get them on Kindle. I know there's a bit of controversy with everything going on with Kindle and Amazon in general, but otherwise, you can buy a physical copy too. I'm sure he'd appreciate that more because he would get more money out of it than if you bought it on Kindle. But I started doing these reviews of The Way of Adan, Prophet of Adan, and Return to Adan by Phillip Chase, who's a YouTuber. The reason I initially found out about him, is because AP Canavan and him did non-spoiler discussions on the Malazan Book of the Fallen books, and then they did spoiler-filled discussions on AP Canavan's channel. They would do the non-spoiler on Phillip Chase's. They've still yet to do the Crippled God, but they've done every single other book in the series, um, and most of the novels of the Malazan Empire. But anyway, I sent him the video unlisted privately so he could check it out. He responded. He was kind enough to respond, and not by any pressuring of my own, he offered me copies of his book. He said, I don't have to pay for it. Just give me the address. I'll send it to you. And so we have The Way of Adan by Phillip Chase, which is also, as you can see here, signed by Phillip Chase. Pretty big. Not the largest book, though, in the whole, but one of the shorter ones. And then you move on to book two, The Prophet of Adan by Phillip Chase, and we get a bit meatier, as you can see. And again, if you go to the this page, Phillip Chase. And last but not least, The Return to Adan. A little bit thicker. I'm also currently got my bookmark in this one because I read the first two on Kindle and these finally arrived by the time I got to book three. So it feels nice to actually hold one of these for once instead of just reading on my phone. It's convenient that way, but it's nice to just have a physical copy, and you can work out a bit with it. But I really like the stained glass window art. I didn't really comment on that in my reviews, which you'll see down the line. But I really enjoyed these. If you want my short and sweet review, read this trilogy. Especially if you're gonna get on Kindle, because it's really cheap. And they're really good. So please, 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 please go read them. But also, alas, we've got a cool map for you to see here. We've got Adanon, important. What frick? Am I pointing to it? We got Adanon right here. Okay, I know it's kind of like inverted for you, but we've got Torland over here, which is the big location. Silharan, which is playing a big location in the current book I'm on, and just a lot of cool stuff there. And then, alas, again, if you go to title page, his signature. So I just thank you, Philip Chase, so much. It means a lot, especially somebody you don't know, really. I just, told you, hey, I'm reading your book. Um, and just the kindness displayed. I mean, I'm not like spamming him or anything. I've texted him here or there, and he's been kind enough to respond, so I've appreciated it. And it's just, talk about kindness in the community. And I mean, I've been a part of it is a very niche community, might I add. Reading in of itself has become less of a predominant thing in our culture. Now it's TV shows and movies and video games are like the mainstream. And I mean, there is still a place of reading, but it is significantly smaller than it used to be. I feel anyway. Maybe that's not wrong. Maybe that's not right statistically, but it feels that way. So then you say you're a Star Wars fan, right? And that encapsulates a whole group of people. But then you drop that down to, oh, I don't really like anything post 2014 after the buyout of Disney, where the expanding universe, now redubbed Legends, no longer matters. 30 plus years of continuity of different authors writing together to make this expansive universe doesn't count. Very niche community right there, because then you got to go, no, not only are you a Star Wars fan, but you're a particularly big fan of a smaller niche of books, comics, and video games that were all released before 2014. Now the booktube community of itself is a bit bigger, a bit wider, and you know I never considered myself a booktuber. I was the EU YouTuber. But you do the EU for 2 years, and you kind of have to get new material. So then I just started reading other things that were of interest, and I read Malazan. And I plan on reading The Wheel of Time as well. That will probably be also in September and like near the end of 2025, heading into 2026, assuming I'm not dead by any instance for some reason. But all that to say, like, you know, I'm not like a big person in the Star Wars EU community, but I certainly am more of a known name there than anywhere else on the internet. So, you know, I am basically a nobody when it comes to these booktubers. Then again, though, we're all nobodies. We're just talking about books. However, I will say the difference also with Philip Chase is that he's actually a professor, so he's actually got the brains and stuff going. Plus, the fact that he makes videos for fun on the internet about books and manga and stuff, like so. For multiple reasons, there's so much insight that can be gained from his channel. Like, he has a bunch of Tolkien videos, just on like some historical stuff in terms of what influenced Tolkien. Also, stuff like Beowulf, because Philip Chase is a big fan of Beowulf, so was Tolkien. And a lot of he also taught me a new term, which is medievalist, which is I suppose I didn't Google it, but based on what he said, it's somebody who knows a lot about the medieval time and all that good stuff and language. So there's a lot of insight to be gained from his channel, along with his companion. I consider him companion because I met them both together, and most of the stuff I watched of them before watching them separately was their Malazan stuff. But you have a separate channel, AP Canavan, well, A Critical Dragon, and he also is professional like editor for books. He's what he gets hired to do. Um, but for fun, he talks about a whole bunch of topics in terms of literature, which is really fascinating and wonderful, and also well worth your time. And I believe he also gets an acknowledgement in here, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure I'm right. Let me see. Pretty sure there is in the acknowledgement section. Finally, I'm certain that no one has ever had a better nemesis than I have. Of course, how many nemesis can cast fireballs? Thank you for all your illuminating help on these books, AP Canavans. There you go. With an exclamation point, mind you. All that to say, I think Philip Chase, I barely know the guy. I haven't talked to him extensively. I don't know him super well. I only have the videos I've watched of him, which has been a lot. I've gave myself a college course for free with AP Canavan and Philip Chase. Um, but he has really insightful stuff. And if you, I've listened to a lot of stuff about writing and stuff from AP Canavan. And even if you're not a writer, I think, if you're trying to be a better reader, if you're trying to be more engaged with the material that you read, I think both of those channels are super are a channel worth subscribing to in order to kind of intellectually stimulate your mind. I think not, and on top of that, they're not boring. They're fun. You know, if this is how Philip you act, if this is how you act, you know, when you teach, like you're probably one of the most fun teachers that anybody could ever have at university or college or whatever. So whoever has you as a teacher, I hope they know how lucky they are. Um, that being said, I just wanted to say thank you. I'm surprised I made it to 10 minutes of this randomness that was off the cuff. I just got really excited about it and I had to mention it for all of you. So please go read the Edan trilogy. You can get it on Amazon, of course. If you have a Kindle, you can get these for fairly cheap if you want to help Philip have more money in his pocket. Get a physical copy. Now again, I didn't pay for these. I planned on it down the road. I have a vacation trip I have to go to, so I had spent a lot of money. Didn't plan on paying, or so I wasn't gonna pay for this right now. I was gonna pay for this down the road, but he gave me these for free, which is very nice of him. But you know, if you want to support him because he's wonderful, you could buy these copies, or you know, financially, if you can't, that's also okay. You can get them on Kindle, and they're fairly cheap. I think I mean, I don't know what they're at normally. I assume $9, but I got some of these for like $3 on Kindle. So that's pretty much it. Thank you, AP. Thank you, Philip Chase. I appreciate it, and I look forward to reading. I'm where am I at? I am. I'm 76 pages in. I'm on chapter 5, so a lot more love here, and for all of you, because I know like 90% of you come from Star Wars, and then I have like 10% of you that came from Malazan. Um, this man, Philip Chase, in June, I believe, is coming up with the fourth installment of this series. I mean, so if you wanted to catch up, you have all of March, all of April, all of May. That is 3 months. If you read a book a month, even, you can most likely catch up in time to read the fourth book in the series. So maybe you should get on that pretty soon. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. And again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Philip. And I look forward to finishing this book, which has been phenomenal so far. Until next time, guys. I don't have a catchphrase. Let's steal from Star Trek. Why not? Live long and prosper. Anyway, I'll catch you next time.